So good!
You said it. What? This episode sure divides the community for either those who think it's really bad and those who think it's actually good. Me personally, I enjoyed it. Sure, it have its flaws, but I think it's a good episode, yet that good at best. I also had my own opinion on rarity in here, which actually changed a bit from previous, but I'll get on that later. Too bad some people call it a trash simply because Starlight was in the opening scene. I mean, come on guys, she didn't even have a speaking role and yet you go into extreme? But it's actually a nice touch to have some little aftermath of the cute remark, explaining that her spell messed up a bit with the map, and that's why there was no friendship mission for such a long time. Even though the map was working perfectly fine back then? Regardless of that, I was expecting and still expect that their fixing spell messed up something with the map, but it's good to know it won't be forgotten, as it was with the diary or castle restoring from season 4. Back to the actual episode, the lucky ponies summoned by map are Pinkie and Rarity, and the lucky place they'll be sent to is Canterlot. So much for exploring Equestria. There, when looking for a friendship problem, they discovered that every restaurant in Canterlot looks the same and tastes the same, all because one critique. I'll get on her later too. For now, let's finally reach the friendship problem. Meet Saffron Masala, Coriander Cumin and their restaurant, The Tasty Treat. I want to be original and say I don't like their design, but I just can't. All the Indian style of the place and owners immediately catch my eye. Say it what you want, I love it. And boom, it's also the place the map was sending Pinkie and Rarity to help our new characters with their disagreement and a bit of an attitude problem, by making the restaurant popular. The catch? They have to appeal to the food critic who turned all Canterlot restaurant into Attack of the Clones. And so our heroines distributed their tasks and reached the most critiquing aspect of the episode. Rarity herself. Most people, including me at some time, jumped on her for the fact that what she was doing is exactly the same mistake Sassy Saddles did back in Canterlot Boutique. The fact that Rarity was trying to kill this restaurant individuality by turning into another restaurant clone, which was the thing that almost caused her to close her boutique. However, there are some people who actually justified her actions. One notable that went detailed why is fellow Polish artist and analyst Grey Silvermane, aka Greycat. I highly recommend checking his video. But what is my opinion on that? I think she actually had good intentions, yet she went the wrong way. On one hand, she was absolutely right that, with critique with such specific taste, the only way to get her approval is to appeal to that taste, which would result in approval of all the Canterlot ponies, which was the only way to save the restaurant. Yet she should also know better as a creative type the primal rule of being recognizable and popular. Let me ask you a question. If you want to be a famous artist, which would make you more popular? Making the same piece of art the same style many other artists are doing, or doing it your way, your own individual style? If you picked option A, you better rethink it. I'm guilty of this too, but creators know better that the key to be recognizable is to be original, to have something to stand out among the others, not by doing what everyone are doing. And that can be easily passed to restaurants, which was confirmed many times by Chef Ramsay. If you want to start your own restaurant, and there are a few Italian restaurants nearby, the last thing you want to do is to open another Italian restaurant, unless you have something to stand out among them. Many best restaurants I've eaten in always have that something, either the location, design, quality of service or food itself. That is also the case here. Although Rarity have a good idea, she should also try to impress Zesty by the original taste of food. Yet, when looking at bigger picture, both solutions might cause more harm than good. Yet, like I said, Rarity was trying to appeal to the critic, so it's not entirely her fault that Zesty Gourmand have such specific taste. I think she's actually a bigger problem than Rarity's wrong solution. I'm saying it right here, right now. She's a bad food critic. Subtle taste my spiritual flank. If restaurants rely on taste so subtle that only one person can truly appreciate it, that's a suicide for the business. And that statement of every pony can throw an ingredient and create an obvious taste? For me, that sounds like every quantum physics expert we have in the internet. She doesn't know how hard it is to actually combine the ingredients to cook delicious food? Oh wait, who am I kidding? Of course she doesn't. A subtle taste is good only if food is tasty by itself for every regular customer. I'm curious who actually gave her permission to be a food critic. The attitude of Cantaloupe ponies is also something that we can see every day on YouTube, that people don't have their own opinion and take the opinion of others as a statement. Back in the days, before this channel, I pointed this as one of the most toxic things on YouTube, that people treat their idols like gods and their words like saint. Similar case we have here. Ponies probably might realize that the food in restaurant approved by Zesty tastes bad, but because they are fixed on her opinion, they don't care about their own taste. But at least we have Pinky and Rarity, who, when realized what went wrong, not only saved the restaurant and relationship between father and daughter, but also helped Cantaloupe ponies to realize that at the end of the day, they should rely on their own opinion in terms of food. Which is a good moral of not being dictated what you should like or not, and what should be your taste. And the only one who didn't learn that lesson was the critic herself. Looks like truth really hurts her ego. It's a little weird to rate this particular episode. However, I think this is a good episode, but nothing more. I really like the design of new characters and their place. It adds some more diversity, both visual and cultural. Musical number is also nice, it gives it a Bollywood feeling. Like I said, this episode have its flaws, yet I don't think Rarity is the biggest one. Rather it's Zesty, how she's stuck upon her own taste that she can't appreciate anything else. And how Cantaloupe ponies are following her opinion instead of forming their own. And it's not only refers to critics. How many times we've seen such a toxic behavior on YouTube with creators and their fanboys. It's good that some Cantaloupe ponies learned that lesson, but too bad Zesty didn't. But hey, this might be a balance to previous episode. Once again, moral of this story is saving this episode, making it a good, but it's very far from being very good. Yet I would still recommend to give it a try and form your own opinion after it. I'm Sharpwit and I'm not going into hiatus with reviews. Thanks for watching.